Hi there, Pete from Craft Cellars here. Got another fun whiskey to tell you guys about today. This is a single malt whiskey from Copperworks Distillery. These guys are based in Seattle and they're a craft distillery, but certainly one of great note. They were actually voted as the Distillery of the Year by the American Distilling Institute in 2018. And they've got a fantastic story behind them and they've produced fantastic whiskey. But obviously American single malt is a pretty new idea, or it's definitely an emerging category. So I wanted to pick these guys out as a single malt fan, but also to introduce you guys who might be more kind of bourbon leaning to what these guys produce. So what we actually have here is their release number 33. So it's a small batch release that was aged in a Fino sherry cask. Now, the guys who started this distillery, they were actually brewers to begin with. So they translated all their brewing knowledge into making a really high grade new make spirit at the distillery. They even went to the trouble of getting Forsyth's stills built and created bespoke for them in Scotland and shipped all the way over to Seattle. So they're really dedicated to making good quality single malt. So with this particular release, with this Fino influence, it will be definitely more in the kind of familiar area where they use quite a lot of New American oak for some of their other releases. So we're actually the only place that has this particular whiskey outside of the distillery, to my knowledge. I don't even believe you can get it anywhere else in the States. So we're very fortunate to have this whiskey. I have tried it previously, but I'm going to walk you through it as I try it just now. So straight away, it's a really, really inviting aroma that you're getting from this with that sherry influence. There's so much going on in there that I wouldn't want to summarize it too much, but I'll give you some kind of highlights, I suppose. Straight away, there's lots of dried fruit. That's probably one of the key things to note. But there is this kind of underlying herbaceousness and maybe even something of a savory and nutty kind of quality. Very rich, very inviting. Let's give it a little taste. That is quite stunning, actually. That really is a beautiful whiskey. First of all, the texture of the whiskey is fantastic. So it's not overly kind of syrupy. It's just got the right kind of balance of kind of viscosity, but also those kind of more clawing tannic kind of qualities. In terms of flavors, it is absolutely jam-packed. So you've got all that dry fruit is in there, all those herbaceous qualities are in there, but I'm also getting things like maybe chocolate, there's maybe like stewed fruits and boiled sweets and toffee, and there's a million and one things happening in there. I could spend a lot of time kind of picking this whiskey apart and trying to analyze it. That's just brilliant. On the finish, it retains all those herbaceous qualities, but there's also this kind of more citrus peel, kind of citrus rindy thing that comes in, which again is absolutely fantastic. So this idea of American single malt, although it's a relatively new thing to a lot of people, there's definitely guys like Copperworks that are, for me, knocking it out the park big time. So this is one of a few different ones that we have in the store. Like I say, this is the one that we have kind of almost as an exclusive, but this is a distillery that anyone who's into whiskey, whether it's bourbon or single malt, you really want to be checking these guys out. Thanks very much.